Around the Northwest this Thursday afternoon. There's a documentary being made at the moment about the Micah scandal. Siobhan Ball is a young filmmaker from England and is here until the end of the month to film some of the stories of families affected by defective blocks. And I'm delighted that she's joining us on the line now and on Zoom. So we're streaming as well. Siobhan, good afternoon to you.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Now, tell us how come you've ended up, you're born in Leicester, how come you've ended up here and in a show and making a documentary about Micah?
See, I'm lucky enough that we've had a place in Greencastle since I was very young, learning to walk. My mum's from Derry originally, but her mum came from Cadbury and Quickley's Point, so she spent summers on Caldeaf Beach and she wanted me and my siblings to have the same, so I've spent summers here and loved every second.
So you're well familiar with the area and you're, and before you ever took out your camera, well familiar, I suppose, with the whole Micah crisis.
Yes, unfortunately so. I mean, it's something that I've known about from being here. You can't miss the signs. And I knew when I got these skills, I wanted to try and contribute to all the great work that's happening here.
And continues. So what do you hope to do in the documentary?
So what I'm doing is really listening to the voices of families and people involved, no matter of your background, job or who you are. It's about that experience of being in a home with defective blocks. I mean, I think away from like the policy and everything that's going on, what I can do is try and bring those voices to light. I'd like someone to sit and watch it and really feel all those feelings that go into it. And, you know, a home is more than just walls and a roof. It's, you know, hopes, dreams, family, memories that go into that. And I just want to try and get that across along with, you know, what it's like to wait for so long for some sort of light at the end of the tunnel.
You've already done some filming and you've heard some of the stories and it's heartbreaking, and you've summed it up well there. I mean, you know, it's much more than four walls and a roof.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I can't thank the people who've spoken to me enough. They've opened their doors to me and they've been so honest and open. And a lot of these people have done media interviews before, so they're going over things that they've had to talk to strangers about before. And so I can't thank them enough for how open they've been with me. And it's just trying to collect as many of those as possible, because this is not a case of one or two homes. It's, you know, it's more a case of who doesn't have it than who does, and that's shocking in itself.
Yeah, the scale is unimaginable, but very real.
Yeah, and I think for myself, it's been great. I mean, I know the area well, but I've come and enjoyed the scenery and the landscape and seeing family and summers, but also this has been an education for myself about the other side of Inishowen that I've not seen, and I'm lucky enough not to have personal experience of. And I think it's like putting a pair of glasses on. Once you know what you're looking for, you can drive around and you can spot it everywhere.
And will the documentary be all around it? Will it show will it go behind the scenes with the ongoing campaign?
Yeah, I hope so. I've been talking with redress focus groups, and I will be there tonight at the meeting to meet people and listen to all like the fantastic work that's going on. So I'll be touching on that as well, because I think that's something that we should all really be celebrating as well, the community voice that has come together and continues to refuse to be silent. I mean, all the finance stuff going on recently has been from the push of focus groups here. So definitely I'm talking to people involved with all the work going on to just touch on that as well, in amongst some of the really upsetting stories going on too.
And it's an ongoing campaign, and it's important that it gets as much publicity as possible. I mean, even this past week, campaigners were at an important meeting and made their presence felt. And I suppose things like this are important as well in the overall picture, in that, you know, that stories are told and recorded and, in this case, filmed.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I can't comment on all the things going with the... there's, I can't remember how many focus groups there are, but so many sides. But this is something I now can do. And I know there's been lots of interviews that have happened over the years, but collecting it all together in one place where I've been talking to people at all stages of the scheme, from demolition to rebuild, and having that all in one place, I think, is really important, almost a piece of history just there.
And where are you at with filming, and what would you like more of? I mean, if there's people listening now and they're affected by this, you know, would you like to hear from them, or is there any particular groups that you'd like to involve?
So I've heard from lots of homeowners who are still waiting on their applications to be moved forward. And anyone is open to approach me, because I do want to capture how many people are involved. But I am really looking now to film a demolition. And that is something hard to ask people to do, because it's obviously quite an upsetting and emotional thing. But it's a piece of imagery that I don't yet have. And I think it's a piece of imagery that'd be really powerful. So really, if I had to be selective, people who know they've got a demolition coming up. Now, if that's not happening in May, that's fine, because I've got a place here and I'm more than happy to come back. So if you know it's coming up, my email is on sort of articles, and that can be shared for anyone to get in touch with me. And as those have said, I work by myself. It's just me and quite a small camera, so it's not a big crew, and I won't be asking you to speak to me, because I can appreciate, you know, the emotions of riding high with that, and I'll try and be as inconspicuous as possible.
Okay, and if someone's listening and they are in that situation and they're happy enough to let you film, how can they reach you?
So my email address is Bahlsiobhan, so BAHLSIOBHAN @gmail.com. So if you just pop me an email and we can chat further.
Okay, Bahlsiobhan @gmail.com. Okay, Siobhan, best luck with the project, with the rest of the filming. Thanks for chatting.
Thank you very much.